Let's go for this. Okay, now imagine I walk into the studio and right where I had my Octatrack, now I have a Digitac. Workflows are very similar, but they're not the same machine. And that's what I feel about this MPC 3.0. It's not really a video that makes me happy to do. I wish I was doing another video, but I gotta talk about it because I feel at the same time it's a great update, but it is the end of a legacy workflow at the same time. Call it nostalgia, old head, all of that. But I feel that it's an amazing workflow that has just disappeared. From now on, we will never have that same workflow again. And I think it's a very important time in the history of the MPC. This is definitely something that changes the history of the machine. I gotta talk about it. Like, I can't stress enough how this is important to many, many of us. You know, I have absolutely nothing against the new update. I think it's a great update. But as I did that comparison at the beginning of the video, I just feel that it is a different machine. I feel like I was misleading, like I was, you know, just someone swapped the machine on me. I'm feeling a bit like that, you know what I mean? Like, I have nothing against the new update. I think it's a great update. I think it's especially a great update for people that are new to the MPC. They're coming into the MPC and the workflow is simplified. It's much easier to work with it right now, especially with a linear view and all of that, than it was before. I understand that. But there are a few things in there that, to me, just made the old version, like the 2.0 version, much, much better and more creative than this one, okay? So I'll say a few things here about this update. Nothing against it. I think it's a great update. There's tons of things in there that are just amazing, and I support Akai on this, not on everything, as I'm going to explain, but I support the update. I think it's a great update. But this will divide a lot of people because of this workflow. Obviously, I'm talking about track mutes. Obviously, I'm talking about programs. This to me, like, you know, Akai doing this change on the MPC, they had a lot of guts, to be honest, to do something like this. Because I'm sure a lot of people will be happy and a lot of people will be mad. And as I said, this is going to be a lot simpler for beginners. Right now, you don't have to change programs in the track. You just create a track just like you do inside of a DAW, and then you just write your MIDI notes or your audio into the track, and it's done. It's super simple. That's just a DAW workflow. And of course, that's the problem. Like, it's an MPC. And to me, it's great to have that workflow, but why not keep both? That's one of the things about the MPC that was very special, is that you could create different workflows. You could work with song mode or just work on an entire sequence. Some people would automate the track mutes to create a song structure. There's so many ways. Some people would export the song mode into a new sequence and then work from there. There were so many type of workflows, and I think Akai now just pushed us into a corner, and because we can't just change the track mutes inside of a sequence now. But yeah, but definitely a lot easier for beginners right now. I haven't heard anyone talk about, but this view isn't at all that deep. You know, it isn't at all like this great arrangement view. How easy is it to work with it, really? You know, really, be honest. Is it easy to work on that view? Because it's great to see and great to have. But because I remember when I had my Akai Force and the arrangement view had just been updated on the Akai Force, and I wasn't actually enjoying the workflow of it because it's just not easy. It's not a really fluid workflow. You have to do a lot of mathematics of copying things, and then it's just not as interesting as it is when you're working inside of an actual DAW, where you can just drag and drop regions. You can grab a section of a track and copy to another track just purely by drag and drop. That doesn't happen on this workflow, right? On the Akai, on the MPC 3. Or just on the 3, MPC 3. That doesn't happen. So even though you kind of see it as a DAW, it's not really the same workflow. They haven't implemented like a fast grab and go, pick up a MIDI, drag there, or something like that on the arrangement view. They have to go a long way to make this better. This is kind of like where I get divided, because I really enjoyed my previous workflow. I still enjoy the workflow of 2.0, and I wanted to go into the 3, but the workflow that I actually am experiencing is the same one on the Akai Force when the arrangement window came out. It's just not easy to work with. It's not like, the great thing is that, yeah, you can see it, and you can picture your song, and you can, see where you are in the song, and you got locators, and you can loop a section in and all of that. You can copy events, but copying events is like it breaks workflow, right? It breaks the speed, and I just don't like that view at all. Maybe if the arrangement view had a really nice, fast workflow that was just really fluid, it was easy to work on, maybe I would look over the fact that programs are now gone. Programs are not gone. They're still inside of the track, but the ability to change programs in the track and the track mutes per sequence is gone. I was almost able to look over that if the arrangement view workflow was really fast and really nice and just nice to work with, which I feel like it's not. Okay, that's just my opinion. To each his own, all right? You can say that the song mode is just an old workflow, it's archaic, it just should be replaced, and I agree with you. It should be replaced, but not by this. A few videos back, I mentioned that, someone asked me on a comment and said, what would you want to change on the MPC? What would you like to see? And I said, I don't actually want anything. I think the MPC is just fine the way it is. Maybe an arrangement view. And then a couple of, or a month later, they dropped this, right? But this is not what I was talking about, because I like the song mode. What I would love to see is the arrangement view in the song mode, but still being able to work with different sequences, multiple sequences, right? That's kind of like my thing. That would be, to me, that would be the way to go, because I don't want to. The ability to swap sequences in the song mode is just way, way better than a linear view, in my opinion. I just love to work with these small little loops and just move the pieces around and try different ideas super quick. If you're in the arrangement view and there's a section in there that you don't like, what do? Well, you have to go into the events and maybe delete that section or copy that section into another section, and it gets really confusing very, very fast. I know this, you probably know this as well. This is nothing new for MPC users. Working with events can be very daunting, and I never liked using it. And that's what they're giving us with the arrangement view. In the song mode, all you gotta do, if you got sequence 5 and then 7, you can just swap them. You can say that here I want 7 and here I want 5. You just swap them really fast. That's the great thing about the song mode, is that you can just go to a new sequence, unused sequence, try a new idea, and then just drop it in the middle of the song. You can't do that on the arrangement view that we now have. So this idea of the song mode, it's not a bad idea. It's just an old idea that needs a refresh. And that, to me, is what they should have done. They should have refreshed the idea instead of just swapping us with this new OS and just, completely disregarding a lot of people's workflow. Another thing is that, I have tons and tons and tons of beats done on the MPC 2.0 that I cannot open on the MPC 3. Yes, they open, but because of the track mutes and because I have multiple things on different sequences with different programs, it just does not translate well to the 3.0. It just doesn't. I know some beats probably will, because if you're just using in one sequence, that sequence will open up just fine. But if you have multiple sequences with different track mutes, just forget it. Like, that old workflow is not compatible with 3.0. Plus, there's a lot of people that do live performances, and they actually carry a track. They carry a beat on sequence 1, another beat on sequence 2, and so on, 3, 4, 5, and they have a whole live set done that way inside of the MPC. That will not open on the MPC 3. So all these things that we've done on previous projects, they just will not open. It's a different machine. That's what I'm saying. Like, they kind of swapped the machine on us. Very slick. It was a slick move, but at this point, I'm kind of confused. I don't know if I want to keep going on this MPC3 because I'm not going to touch the arrangement view because I just don't feel, again, I don't feel like it's great workflow. It's nice to see the song laid out in front of you, but when it gets to, you know, actually copying things and drag and dropping sections of the beat, I don't think it's worth it. I think a song mode is much better than the arrangement view. There are things in there that are great. Like if you want to do automation on a track, it's great, of course. You know, there's a lot of problems that we had where you would have like this bleeding of automation to the next sequence. These things are kind of gone with the linear view. There's a lot of things that are great, and that's why I'm saying like the update is great. There's nothing wrong with the update in itself. It's a great update. The thing is that, you know, for that update to be here, it means that they had to take away the previous workflow. And my question comes like, why do you not just give us both workflows? Why not just, you know, have an arrangement view for all the sequences like you have, but just keep the old workflow, keep the ability of changing programs in track mutes. I know probably they might be able to fix the track mutes. I think that's something that they might be able to do. If a lot of people ask for it, they might have a preference in the preferences where, you know, you can say that I actually want my track mutes to be different for each sequence, or some people love the idea of having the same track mutes for all the sequences. So I've experienced a ton of comments, and a lot of people say that they just prefer the new workflow. And I think a lot more people prefer the new workflow, let's be honest, than the old one. I see a lot more people saying that. Again, there's nothing wrong with the new update. I think it's a great update, but it's a different machine. That's all I'm saying, all right? But I know there's a lot of us that love the previous workflow better than this one. So what I would tell Akai is like, I think it's going to be very difficult to bring back the ability to change a program inside of the track. I can live with that, not having that option, but the track mutes, I gotta have that back. Otherwise, I don't think I'm gonna keep going on this MPC3. Yeah, man, like Akai is known for different workflows. Some people like one thing, other people like one thing. Why not just bring the arrangement view, but still keep the old ones, the old workflow? Just keep it there, man. And so if you wanna work with track mutes, work. If you wanna work in linear view, work. But why just kind of kill it for all of us? Or some of us, I should say. You know what I mean? Like, the only thing that I would ask Akai to do is this. Just give us track mutes back. I do want to keep making music on the song mode. And if there was to be an update for an arrangement, it would be the song mode, not a new linear view like that. In my opinion, this is all my opinion. This is my video. I just wanted to say what I feel. I got all my, I got my followers. You got to know what I feel. This is what I feel. I just prefer the old one than the new one. I might be an old head. I might be nostalgic. I might be archaic. I might be whatever you want to call me. But this is where I feel comfortable. I like my track mutes a lot. Okay, it's just easy for me to swap sections in the song mode, create new ideas, bring it into the song mode. I think it's such a brilliant workflow. I think there's so much. It's a more creative workflow than the linear view. Linear view is a pretty standard workflow, and it works really great because of that. It's simple. It's a simple view. You put your ideas in there, and it works really well. The song mode, it's a different type of workflow, but I feel like it's more creative. You can try crazy ideas and not being afraid to mess up what's in the linear view, because I think that's what happens ultimately in an arrangement view, is that, you know, you're afraid to mess up what's in there. You can copy sequences, that's true as well, and try crazy ideas on a new sequence now. But yeah, I don't think it's going to work for me. That's all I want to say. If Akai feels like, you know, whatever, it's gone, and I might be one of these old heads that just say goodbye, because I don't think I'm going to go that way. Peace. Have fun. Make beats. Enjoy life. Enjoy your family. Enjoy music. Have a great day. Thank you, Akai. Thank you, everyone on YouTube. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Drop a comment. Tell me what you feel about the new update. In case some of you guys already are on the beta as well. Just let me know. Have a great day, all right? Peace. Take care.